And get started on your 7-2 skills practice. This is division properties of exponents. I believe I gave this as a homework assignment, so hopefully you've done it. If not, you're watching this. This is for the Algebra 1 students. So let's take a look at number 1. This is 6 to the power 5 divided by 6 to the power 4. If we remember our quotient property or quotient law for exponents, we're going to take these exponents, which is 5 and 4, and we're going to subtract them because we have a common base of 6. So basically what this means is this is 6 to the power of 5 minus 4. When we divide, we subtract exponents. So 6 to the power of 5 minus 4, 5 minus 4 is 1, so this is 6 to the power of 1, but most people will just call that 6, and that's your answer. Okie doke, let's take a look at number 2. This is 9 to the power of 12 over 9 to the power of 8. This is the same process. We're going to subtract the exponents. So it's the top one minus the bottom. This is equal to 9 to the power of 12 minus 8. And 9 to the power of 12 minus 8, 12 minus 8 is 4. So this is 9 to the power of 4. And we'll leave it like that because that's probably a big number that we don't want to try to figure out. Okay, so here we go again. Number 3, x to the power of 4 over x squared. So this is going to equal x to the power of 4 minus 2. We're going to take the top power, subtract the bottom, and this will give us x 4 minus 2, which is x squared. And that's all you got. Okie doke. And we'll keep going. Next one. This is going to, we have two variables here. We have r and t. So we're going to look at the r's first, deal with them first, and then we're going to worry about the t's. So let's take r. This is r to the power of the top minus the bottom, so r to the power of 3 minus 3 times t. Now t, we're going to have the same thing, the top power minus the bottom, so 4 minus 2. 3 minus 3 is going to be 0, so this is going to be r to the power of 0. And 4 minus 2 is going to be 2, so this will be t squared. Another law that you've learned is that anything to the power of 0 is 1. So we're going to cross this out and make it 1. So what you have is basically 1 times t squared, which is just t squared. That's all you're going to get out of this. Alright, we're on number 5 now. This is m over m cubed. Remember that if you don't see an exponent, the exponent is 1. So this top one is m to the power of 1. I seem to have lost my pen here. Maybe I'm not. Let's see what happens. So we're going to say this is equal to m. It's the top power minus the bottom power, so the 1 minus 3. That, we should remember, 1 minus 3 is negative 2. So it's 1 minus 3, which is negative 2. You shouldn't leave negative exponents in your answer. I also know from the negative exponent law that m to the power of negative 2 is the same thing as 1 over m to the power of positive 2, or 1 over m squared. So this is really what you actually have for the answer. Another way of looking at this is if you look at this, you have m on top, and then you got m cubed on bottom. So that's basically m times m times m. These cross out, these two m's, and then what you have are two m's on bottom, which is why it's the same thing as what? 1 over m squared. You got two m's on bottom. It's the same thing. But I prefer you go this top method than writing it all out. For obvious reasons, if I give you an exponent of 36, you're not going to write this 36 times. It's not practical. Okay, number 6, we have coefficients. A coefficient is a number in front of a variable, so the coefficient of d to the power of 7 here is 9. And then we got 3 as the coefficient on bottom. We're going to go ahead and divide these. 9 divided by 3. That's going to give you 3. That's what 9 divided by 3 is. Now we have d as our variable. And then we're going to have the top power minus the bottom, so this is going to be d to the power of 7 minus 6. What this is going to end up being is 3 d to the power of 7 minus 6, which is 1. Right? So we're going to say this is 3 times d to the power of 1, or 3d is basically what the answer is. Here we got coefficients again. We're going to divide these. This is going to give us 12 over 36, and then we have the powers of n. So we got n. It's the top exponent minus the bottom. Remember the bottom one is 1 if you don't see an exponent, so this is going to be n to the power of 5 minus 1. 12 over 36 is just a fraction, but it reduces. We can divide the top and bottom by 12 because they're both divisible by 12. So 12 divided by 12 is 1, and 36 divided by 12 is 3. So this is 1/3. 1/3 times n to the power of 5 minus 1, which is 4. So this answer is 1/3 n to the power of 4. Another way of writing this is multiplying n to the power 4 times the top of the fraction, which is 1. So that would give you n to the power 4 over 3. This is basically your final answer. Alright, as you can see on this question, we have the same thing on top and the same thing on bottom. So if I say 4 minus 4, we're going to have w to the power of 4 minus 4. Let's write it all out step by step so you can see everything. To the power of 4 minus 4. And then we got x's, and this will be what? 3 minus 1. So 3 minus 1. 4 minus 4 is 0. Everybody knows that. And 3 minus 1 will be squared. So this is w to the power of 0 times x squared. Anything to the power of 0, as we've already discussed, is the same thing as 1. So basically this answer is 1 times x squared, which is just x squared. That's your final answer. It's reduced to that. Alright, let's move this down a little bit. See if I can do it over here. And we'll continue. Alright, so we got this question here. A cubed b to the 5th over a b squared. So we have a's and b's. We have a to the power of what? 3 minus 1. It's top minus bottom. So the power of 3 minus 1. We got b to the power of what? 5 minus 2. So the exponent of a is 3 minus 1, which is 2, a squared. And then the exponent of b is 5 minus 2, which is b to the power of 3, or b cubed. So this answer is a squared b cubed. That's pretty straightforward. Alright, we keep going. Let's don't stop. We're almost done here. So we got m's. We got 7 minus 3. So m to the power of 7 minus 3 times p to the power of 2 minus 2. That's going to give us another 0. So 7 minus 3 for m is going to be the power of 4. This is going to be p to the power of 0. What do we know about anything to the power of 0? This is the same thing as 1. So this is 1 times m to the power of 4. So it's m to the power of 4. That's all you got, because this goes away. Anything to the power of 0 turns to 1. Alright, so let's move this down a little bit. And we'll go ahead and finish these last two and we'll be done with this assignment. Alright, so we take the coefficients. We got 7 and negative 21. We're going to take negative 21 divided by 7. Negative 21 divided by 7 is negative 3. If you don't know that, then you need to use a calculator. Okay, this is something you need to be familiar with by now. We got w to the power of 5 and w to the power of 4 on bottom, so it's going to be w to the power of 5 minus 4. And then we got x's, it's going to be 2 minus 5. This one's a tricky one, so 2 minus 5. Let's see what's going to happen here. We have the coefficient, which is negative 3, so this is negative 3. 5 minus 4 for w's exponent is going to be w to the power of 1. X to the power of 2 minus 5, that's going to be x to the power of negative 3. Technically this is the correct answer. However, you shouldn't leave negative exponents in your answer. I need to reduce that. I want you to keep in mind, as I wrote up here earlier, if I say I have a negative exponent of x to the power of negative 3, what this actually means is 1 over x to the power of positive 3, or 1 over x cubed. This is the same thing. So this is actually, right here, the same thing as what we have right here. And we're going to replace it with that instead. So what I actually have is negative 3 w to the power of 1 times 1 over x cubed. So we're going to multiply the top here by all of this. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get negative 3w all over x cubed is the answer. And that is the solution for this. Okay, and then we're on the last one here. So we got 32 over negative 8. So let's take a look at that. 32 divided by negative 8, what's that going to be? 32 over negative 8. We're just going to leave it like that for a second. Let's go ahead and look at our x's. This is 3 minus, there's a 1 on bottom there, so 3 minus 1. We got y, excuse me, and then we got 2 minus 1, so 2 minus 1. And then we got z to the power of 5 minus 2. So let's go ahead and work this out here. We got 32 divided by negative 8. That's actually going to be negative 4. That's what that ends up being. We got x to the power of 3 minus 1, so this will be x squared. That's 2. X to the 3 minus 1. Y to the power of 2 minus 1, which is just y, or y to the power of 1 if you want. That's okay. And z to the power of 5 minus 2. That's going to be z to the power of 3. This is your final solution. You can't reduce it any further, so that's that. Okay, I thank you for watching this video. If you haven't completed this assignment, you can use this video to do that. I prefer you do that so that you at least can see this worked out so you can practice. But I appreciate you watching, and hopefully you'll continue watching, and I will see you guys later. All right, bye-bye.